Chapter 1. The Heat is Coming. Let's start with the story that should be dominating every sports desk on the planet. Leading scientists are now openly warning that the 2026 World Cup, hosted across the United States, Canada, and Mexico, could be played in conditions that are genuinely dangerous for human beings. We're not talking about uncomfortable. We're talking about extreme heat events that climate researchers say are becoming the new summer normal across North America. Think about what that means. The biggest tournament on Earth expanded to its largest ever format, scheduled in the middle of a continental summer, in cities where afternoon temperatures regularly cross thresholds that elite sports medicine considers a red line. Players collapse, fans collapse, and the schedule, locked in years ago for television windows, doesn't bend. This isn't a fringe concern from activists. These are the warnings coming directly from climate scientists who study heat stress for a living. And it sets the tone for everything else we're about to talk about. Because the pattern across sport right now is the same. Expansion, exposure, exhaustion. The product is getting bigger, the conditions are getting harder, and nobody at the top is slowing down. Chapter 2. Formula One's record year. Now pivot to Formula One, because the same forces are playing out at 200 miles per hour. The 2025 season has just been declared record-breaking on basically every measurable axis. Audience figures, race attendance, commercial revenue, social engagement. By the sport's own numbers, this is the most successful campaign in its history. But read between the lines and you see the cost. F1 is now running one of the longest calendars it has ever produced, crisscrossing continents week after week, with team personnel reporting burnout levels the paddock hasn't seen before. The drivers themselves have spoken openly this year about the relentlessness of back-to-back triple headers. And yet the response from Liberty Media isn't to ease off. It's to add more. More street circuits. More sprint weekends, more content windows. The product is being optimized for engagement, not for the humans delivering it. And here's the analytical point that ties it back to Chapter 1. When a sport breaks its own records, the temptation is always to push harder. That's exactly the cycle that's putting World Cup players in heat domes. F1 is just further down the same road. Chapter 3. The NFL goes global, which brings us to the NFL and the 2026 schedule that just dropped. International games are now a structural pillar of the league, not a novelty. The dates, the times, the matchups across Europe and beyond are being treated with the same gravity as a divisional rivalry. And that's the story. The NFL has quietly decided that growth in North America has a ceiling, and the only frontier left is the rest of the world. London, Munich, Madrid, Sao Paulo. These are no longer experiments. They are franchises in waiting. But here's what the headlines miss. Every international fixture means one fewer home game for an American fan base that pays the bills. It means a brutal travel burden on the players in a sport where recovery time is already minimal. And it means American football is now competing directly for global attention with the Premier League, with F1, with the World Cup itself. The land grab is real. The NFL has looked at the calendar saturation problem we just described in F1 and decided the answer is to play even more games, in even more time zones. They're betting the world wants it. The next 2 seasons will tell us if they're right. Chapter 4. Wimbledon's soft power. Now here's where the story gets interesting. While the NFL and F1 are chasing scale, some sports are doing the opposite. They're doubling down on prestige. Look at Wimbledon. The arrival of the Princess of Wales, alongside Princess Charlotte, was treated as a major cultural moment, with the public greeting them as part of the fabric of the tournament. That's not an accident. That's a strategy. Wimbledon does not need to expand. It does not need a sprint format or a Saudi date. Its weapon is exclusivity, the white kit, the strawberries, the royal box. In an era where every other sport is trying to scream louder, Wimbledon's competitive advantage is its silence. And here's the deeper read. The Royals at Wimbledon aren't just a photo opportunity. They are a signal to global broadcasters, to luxury sponsors, to high net worth ticket buyers that this product is irreplaceable. You cannot manufacture 200 years of cultural weight. The lesson for the rest of sport is uncomfortable. Scale is one playbook, scarcity is another. And right now, the scarcity model might be the one with the strongest moat. Chapter 5: American Tennis Reckoning. Stay with tennis, because the US Open tells the other half of that story. America invented the modern Grand Slam product, the lights, the music, the